So if we could...
Maggie, I'm sorry. Is this my phone or is anybody else having the experience? I hear something like water running or something like that, and the volume is still low. And but I don't hear it like when I was talking to Grace or anybody else.
Right. I'm hearing the same thing, John.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to get my earphones. Maybe that would help. Now, is this any better, John? Yes? Okay.
Yeah, it's better.
Much better.
Yeah, and I don't hear the like creek or water running.
Okay.
So that got turned off somehow.
Okay, it could be that laptop is getting old. It needs a mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Okay, well. So if you can welcome your experience just as it is, sort of a fresh welcoming, meaning whatever arises, whatever thought and sensation, image, memory, whatever appears, to be transparent, to be the presence, not to try to fix anything, not to bring in any past knowledge. So be as still as possible without unnecessary effort. Sort of relax. You may notice a certain quiet. You can turn your attention to the breath. It may help to sort of notice the gentle movement of breath. Nothing to do outside of simply being, which already is. Being is this silent presence. It is within this silent presence that hearing takes place. So hearing is embraced, impregnated with the silence. And they are not two. Everything that you perceive within this silence. The silence, the presence, and the perception are not two. No matter what appears, notice that the presence is undisturbed. This presence is not something that you do. It is. It is isness itself. Which we refer to as I am. Yeah, so enjoy this amness. As amness, as presence. We are one. There is no separation within presence. No demarcation lines between different sides. There are no sides within presence. And this is where we truly meet. We meet in our recognition of being, which is not the recognition of being a person, a man, a woman, a son, a daughter. It's a recognition of pure being, the transparency of being, the undeniability of being. Being is peace. Wholeness. Nothing lacking. Nothing too much. Notice in this moment and every moment, I is absolute. Awareness. Without which there are no possibility for perception or sensation or experience. A borderless presence. At the surface of the ocean, we perceive waves, different shape, different size. Waves, which are not separate from the ocean. Like the ocean, the waves are made out of water. The ocean is this vast, seamless stillness. The one reality, the reality of consciousness, awareness. That which truly is I. At the surface of the ocean, there is a play of waves. One wave is arising, the other one is receding, a dance of sort. As if all the waves are on the same dance floor, dancing together somehow in harmony. The harmony of the dance of the waves is not the result of how well each wave dances. Rather, the harmony of the dance is the result of their being one with the ocean. It's the ocean that expresses itself as this harmonic dance, harmonious dance. in life, our relationships, our experiences are similar to the movement of the waves on the surface of the ocean, similar to the dance of the ocean. There is nothing at stake, neither for the ocean nor for the wave, is there? With the ocean expressing itself as the dance of waves. Each wave is the ocean. Each movement of the wave is the ocean movement. The expression of the ocean. It is in the understanding of our intimacy as the ocean that we intimate the true meaning of relationship. Our true relationship is a relationship of being the water, being water, being one. In every aspect of our being, of our existence, we are one. There is no wave which is separate from any other wave, or there is no wave which is separate from the ocean. No wave which is separate from water, is there? So when you say, what about me? What about my life? What about my future? What about my ambition? It is like a wave saying, what about me? Well, there is no me for the wave, and there is no me across the board outside of the belief that I am a separate self, that I am a man, a woman, a person. This belief, which is a dream impression, an unhappy dream impression. Which we perceive. We perceive the thought. I am this person. I am this, I am that. And in the absence of inquiry into that belief, we experience the sense of isolation and separation, the sense of lack, a hope for a better future, regret about the past, the negative emotions all of which are arising from an unexamined belief that I am a mother, a father, a son, a daughter, somebody in time and space, an entity, some entity, whatever that means. A bundle of images and sensations, and contractions within the body-mind, a whole array of defense mechanisms and attack mechanisms. The intricacy of the sense of separation. While all along, here we are as this transparent, effortless, aware presence, the peace of being. So we try to relate as separate beings. We try to build bridges among various planets that are rotating in space, separate planets. We work so hard on fixing the bridges and maintaining the bridges, hoping that somehow that these bridges will connect us, while all along we overlook that there is no separation, no need for bridges, no need for imaginary strategies to connect with someone else or something else. When you turn your attention towards the true significance of I, the reality which perceives right now, you don't find a male or female perception. You find I, genderless, formless, the reality of being that doesn't belong to anybody. There is nobody that can own it or lose it or gain it. It is that which I am, that which we are, that which is. Not an object that you can perceive, like you can perceive your house or your car or your bank account or your body. It is the reality that perceives that which is. In this moment, check it out. Take a look. The true I, the true self in this moment. Not via thinking or conceptualizing, but directly in your experience right now. Are you not? Where is this I in this moment? Is it something from the past? Where is that past? We have available to us equally the transparency of being, this formless and borderless awareness. Don't we? Don't you? Aren't you that aware presence? Which has no border, no center. Whatever appears to you is a coloring of this awareness. Like in your night dreams, your night dreams appear to you, which are a colorant, a coloring of your dream mind, of you, the dreamer, taking on the form of a butterfly or although in your night dreams there is this dream reality. This dream reality is just an expression or a manifestation of you, the dreamer, as a metaphor. Your waking dream and your night dream is just an expression or coloring of consciousness, awareness. Notice the stillness. The aware, awake silence. Recognize yourself as this transparency that appears as all forms without ever losing its formlessness. Okay, so if you have any questions, anything that you would like to explore, please make sure you unmute your mic. So any questions?
Hello, Magdi.
Yes. Hello, Walter. Yes. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for that wonderful guide. I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say what a wonderful confirmation that you've provided. It is, as you say, as far as moving through myself. That's my experience, and you put it so eloquently. So thank you so much.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you, Walter. Yes. Beautiful.
You talked about relationship.
Yes, Lulu.
My question is, why are we, as humans, are the only species that love to agonize each other, hurt each other, and to the point kill one another? But no other species on Earth does the same thing.
Okay, well, first, we cannot be absolutely sure that that is the case, because what we know about existence is so limited. There is so much we don't know. But irrespective of that, two things. First, ask yourself of what usage is it for you to have an answer to this question? Will this question being answered lead you to a higher understanding of yourself? Now, our experience is what it is, meaning I perceive myself as being a man, a person, and I perceive the others as being other persons, and the resources I perceive are limited. I better get to it before you get to it. And so therefore, I'm in the rat race. So we are living in a way under the impression of separation. We are living the rat race while the clock is ticking anyways. Okay, maybe 90 years, maybe 100 years, maybe 105 years, whatever, the clock is ticking anyways. And the rat race has only one ending, which is not very rosy, to say the least, you know. So why do we behave in ways that are so toxic, so unloving, so unkind, Why do we experience the negative emotions of anger, jealousy, envy, etc.? When you look at these questions, you will find that the root cause of the negative emotions and the actions that follow from the negative emotions is the belief in separation, is the sense of separation and the belief in separation. I better get there before you. You have a nicer house than mine, I better do something about it. You have a better car than mine, I better do something about it. And so on. I mean, we all know that. The sense of lack and the fear of ending are inherent to the belief that I am a man, a woman, that I am somebody in time and space. So what is the cure to that? The cure to that is the understanding. If reality is separation, then reality is the sense of lack and fighting over the bone, you know, like whoever is going to get the most out of the bone. So we contemplate our experience, the reality of our experience. When we look at the reality of our experience, we notice that there are infinite thoughts, infinite sensations, infinite perceptions. And we find that the reality of our experience, it requires a certain inquiry, is consciousness, is awareness. So anyways, a short answer to your question is that the misery in the world is the result of ignorance or the sense of separation. But I know you know that already. I've met you a few times already in these meetings. I know you know that already. You must have a question behind your question. I don't know what your question behind your question is. Because you would not be asking me a question that you already know the answer to. What is your real question?
My real question is, I have no belief. I don't believe in anything, and I don't accept anyone's authority either. But I have to see. I have to experience it myself, and I have to look at it myself.
So when you say I, what do you mean to yourself by I?
Collectively, I, to me, is the consciousness. All of us call ourselves I when we want to reference to something. I like, I don't, all that is just play of consciousness. I know that. But now that I'm talking, instead of putting myself as a third person or calling my name or the speaker, I'm using I.
So by I, you are referring to the speaker? You're referring to maybe I didn't fully get it. By I, what is it that you refer to when you say I? I know you already answered, but I didn't fully get what you answered.
We all have.
No, forget about you all. You.
Okay.
You know, right now you say I don't have any beliefs, for example. When you say I don't have any belief, what do you mean by I when you say I?
This person.
So the body mind.
The body mind.
So the body that your mom and dad called Lulu.
Correct.
Now, the body mind that you call Lulu and I call Lulu and your parents called Lulu when the body mind was born, is that, what is your experience of it right now?
being aware of itself.
So right now, turn your attention to the sensation of your feet on the ground, yeah?
Yes.
You're perceiving a sensation.
Correct.
And you're perceiving the sensation of the body. It's arising within the feet and the ground. And
Right.
you can turn your attention to the breath. You notice a breath.
Mm-hmm.
So you are perceiving the body breathing.
Correct.
Yes? Now, turn your attention to an image of the body. Let's say that conjure an image of the body that we call Lulu. Yes? You perceive an image of the body, yes? Right now, yes?
Yeah.
So you're perceiving the body as sensation and as an image. What is it that perceives? What is it that perceives the body? What is it that perceives Lulu?
The consciousness itself.
Yes, so consciousness or awareness, I perceive the sensation of my feet on the ground. I perceive the breath. I perceive the image of Lulu.
Right.
The I which perceives the image is not the image, is not an image. An image does not perceive an image, right?
Correct.
An image is perceived. I perceive the image, but the I which perceives the image is not an image, right?
Correct.
So I perceive the body as sensation. For example, I perceive the sensation, yes? But the I that perceives the sensation is not a sensation. A sensation does not perceive, right? Right?
Right.
So the body, which we call Lulu, and mom and dad called Lulu, and we all call this body Lulu, does not perceive. Because a body does not perceive, a body is perceived. A sensation does not perceive. A sensation is perceived, yes?
Yes.
So when we say that Lulu is saying this, or Lulu is perceiving this, or Lulu is doing this, we are saying that a sensation is perceiving, or a sensation is saying something. The sensation is an appearance. A thought appears to you, right?
Yes.
The thought may say, today is Sunday, yes? The thought does not perceive. I perceive the thought. The thought is some sort of activity, brain activity, neurons firing, electromagnetic fields and vibrations. The body goes, and then there is this thought.
Correct.
Today is Sunday. The thought or the brain does not perceive the thought. The activity of the brain does not perceive. It is I which perceives the thought. It's very important to be clear that the body-mind instrument, no matter how intricate it is, and I love it, it's such an amazing thing, the body-mind, is not that which perceives.
Correct.
The computer does not perceive. The binoculars do not perceive. That which perceives is I, I awareness. It's very important to be clear in your understanding that I is not an object. The body is an appearance. Sometimes you use the word object or manifestation or a form.
Right.
The I, consciousness, is not a form. A thought is a form, a sensation is a form, a perception is a form. When you look at your hand, it's a form. When we open the brain, look at the brain, the gray matter, it's a form. But the I, that which hears these words right now, is not a form.
Right.
So the I, when you say I, do not have any belief. and by I you're referring to awareness, yes, awareness holds no beliefs. The ocean holds no belief, you see. A belief is a sort of a mind impression. Yeah. For example, the belief that, oh, the earth is flat, for example. It's an appearance. There is a thought that appears, says, the earth is flat. And that which perceives the thought is awareness. Consciousness perceives the thought. I am a woman. The consciousness perceives the thought. The earth is flat. I am a man. I am a woman. And it is consciousness that can investigate, is the earth really flat? And it starts digging and digging and digging. And after 300, 400, 500 years, it discovers, whoa, no, the earth is not flat.
Right.
Similarly, the thought, I am a man, appears, consciousness perceives the thought, I'm a man. And it starts digging and digging and digging, digging and digging. And eventually it says, oh, no, I am not a man. I am awareness, I'm transparent. So a belief is a thought which appears, which is uninvestigated. When it is uninvestigated, then the belief takes on the form of truth, a form of truth. But upon investigation, then that belief may prove that it's true or it's not true. For example, we have the belief the earth is round. We don't know, we investigate, and one day we go out in space and we look and we say, oh yes, this belief was a true belief. So a belief requires your investigation. And the core belief in non-duality is the core inquiry, is the inquiry into the belief that I is a mortal, separate object, a form, that I is born, and that I exist as a person, that I am a person, that I am a person. When we investigate that belief, we realize, aha, the body is a male body, is a female body, is a 5 foot tall body, is whatever, born in 1980 body, whatever. But we will find that I is not born. With that you have to conduct this investigation, this inquiry, to come to absolute certainty, not a partial certainty, absolute certainty that I is not born.
Right.
It is the absolute certainty that will dispel any doubts within and any confusion in our life about our true nature and about our life and about this phenomenal realm. Because as long as there is doubt about I, the absolute certainty about I, then we get revisited by the sense of lack and the thorn of mortality will continue to visit us in our daily life and in our night dreams.
I understand that, but my question is, how is the wrong question to ask?
Okay. I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Lulu? How is?
I said maybe how is the wrong question to ask, because then indicating for you to tell me how to do it. But I want to investigate, I want to find out for myself, how can I connect to another human being without the broken parts
Yes.
that I have.
Yes. Yes. What are the broken parts that you have?
Everything that I've been taught, everything that I was told I should believe in.
But do you need it? Do you need all that?
No, I don't. But how do what would be the right way to connect with someone who does?
Yes. Well, that's, as you say, that's for you to discover. I can just share with you some of my thoughts about it. But of course, as you said, it has to be your experience. The way you connect, the way I connect, is just by simply being. It is happening. You recognize a connection that is occurring at this moment without any intention, without any goal. I am not interested in any particular connection. If I'm interested in a particular connection, I have some agenda, then I am trying to maneuver the relationship towards a certain goal, whatever that is. But what if I'm not? What if I'm just not interested in any objective or in maneuvering the relationship towards any direction? Then I'm just there as presence, and here I am. If I feel certain heat and I'm comfortable with that heat, I'm okay. If the heat becomes too much, then I will respond. I will maybe step back or take some action. So we don't know ahead of time how to relate. We don't need to know how to relate ahead of time, because there is no ahead of time. Our life is always in this moment, this particular moment. Right. So you don't know, nor do I know. Nobody has a crystal ball, but it is possible. At least I propose to myself that it is possible to relate with you, with anybody, to relate out of presence and to relate out of an understanding that it's all a cosmic event. It's all cosmic. It's all cosmic. Now, in the past, my experience was I need to protect myself, portray a certain image, defend a certain position, get my desires fulfilled, etc. Like I say, been there, done that. And it's been pretty miserable overall. And upon the contemplation of the reality of my experience, I can come to the understanding in this moment that I refers to presence. You can call it God's mind, you can call it God's presence, you can call it Brahman, it doesn't matter, consciousness, awareness. It's important to come to the understanding about what I truly refers to, because I is my experience. My ongoing experience is I. But when I look into what is this I find that there is the assumption that I've been taught up to now that I is Megdi, the boy, the man, the this, the father, the whatever, blah, 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 blah. The images, the old trauma, blah, blah. But when I investigate in this moment what I is, I find just presence, don't you?
But this speaker has a counterpart, which calls itself I.
What's a counterpart?
There is another person or persons that they call themselves I as well. And without any desire of being supreme or wanting something from the other I, how would you connect? By just being silent or
Yeah.
being at the moment?
Yes, I understand. We don't know. I mean, sometimes it's silence. Sometimes it's responding to the situation as it arises to you. The thing, it doesn't matter really what other people's, what their movie, what their scenario, what the.
No, I'm only concerned with this one.
Yes, so in the relationship, you have the relationship. Like right now, there is a relationship. There is a conversation going on.
Right.
So how do I respond? How am I in this relationship? There is a listening, and there is also listening within. Sometimes something arises to be spoken. Sometimes it is spoken. Sometimes I take a look at it and I say, well, wait a minute, maybe it's not appropriate, so maybe I don't need to speak it. So life is living itself and is being lived through you. And your question is about how to live it ahead of time. It's not possible because it's living itself as this. It lives itself as this. So you don't need to ask yourself, how would I live, But I would say that it's a good idea to be spacious in a conversation. It's helpful, to sort of, if you have something that you're trying to, you have like an agenda, it's okay. Sometimes in business, we have an agenda. I want to replace, change my oil in the car. So I stand in line, I have an agenda to get the oil changed in a practical sense. So, but in life, as much as possible, when we are spacious, it is more peaceful. Also, when we are free, So I'm not trying to sell you anything, you're not trying to convince me of anything. So we're celebrating our freedom.
Right.
So, but our freedom is also the celebration of everybody else's freedom. So I honor you, or I honor your freedom as my own, equally. So I think it's important to explore that. And also to be watchful of your emotions. Because your emotions, your negative emotions, sometimes they take over and they lead your action. They lead your action in ways that maybe you regret later, which is more negative emotions, regret. Pile it up, So with the negative emotion, there is an understanding about the negative emotions. The negative emotions have to do with personal desire. And personal desire has to do with the sense of separation, that I believe that there is something I'm lacking. But consciousness is not lacking anything. But the idea that the belief that I am Magdi, I am Lulu, I'm lacking. As soon as there is a belief that I am a mortal body mind that's unexamined, then I am lacking. And so in the relationship, there can be jealousy, there can be anger, there can be anticipation, there can be expectations. How come I thought you were like this, and now you turned out to be like that. I had an image of you, of how I wanted you to be, how I wanted you to act, how I wanted you to respond to me. You're not honoring my feelings. I thought you're a person who honors my feelings. So all of that is the sense of separation. And when we are living that in relationship, we all do, you know, it gets messy. This is why we take a look. We take a look, and not just we take a look, we also try to live our understanding. To live our understanding is very important. And the understanding is not about the other, it's about oneself. What am I? What is this experience? Because my experience, your experience, is the same. I mean, your thoughts may be different than my thoughts. The color of your car may be different than the color of my car. The shape of your body may be different from the shape of my body. But in the end, if you put this aside, we have the same experience. We experience thoughts, sensations, images, perceptions. Really, big deal. That's what we experience. So the question is, what is the reality of our experience? What is it that experiences? I experience. I. What is this I? We all know I. We are I. I am I. What is this I that I am? In this moment.
Right.
It has no name and no shape. I cannot say I female, I male. Yes, the body is female, male. That which I perceive.
Right.
But I. So this is very important, the contemplation, to come to understanding about I, because in life, we don't look at that. We're just looking at, the money, the position, the etc. It's all the senses, via the senses. But in non-duality, we say, okay, wait a minute. You cannot really get the fulfillment that you are seeking, because we are all seeking a fulfillment, which we refer to as happiness, peace and happiness. You cannot find it by strictly going through the senses. You have to contemplate the reality of consciousness, the true meaning of I. This is why sometimes I sound like a broken record. I say, well, you say I, what do you mean by I? Some people tell me, oh, Magdi, you always ask the same question, what do you mean by I? Because this question is an important question. It's an important question. Like, where did you put the keys of your car? I mean, I ask it 10 times, where did you put it? Because it's an important question, because you want to drive your car. Well, silly metaphor, but it's an important question. When I say I, what do I mean by I? What is it that is saying I? What is it that is I? What is it that knows I? Only I. Only I knows I. Only I is I. The I, that Ramana Maharshi used to speak about, I. So in relationship with others, be unknowing, be not knowing, be not knowing. So you can be the freshness, be fresh, without bringing the past as much as possible. I'm just sharing my experience, without bringing images about the other and images about yourself. Because a relationship between images is not a real relationship. Images, the images relating to images is not alive. It's not
That's
alive.
what creates the war.
Yes. We have to be sensitive, inwardly sensitive to the image-making mechanisms within us, about ourselves and about others.
Thank you.
Okay, Lulu. Okay, nice talking with you. Okay. So, any questions?
Madi?
Yes.
Hi.
Hello, Sylvia. Yes.
Hi. Nice
Hi.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Sylvia.
Just with hearing the conversation with you and Lulu, what I could, if I may, just add that I don't know more than half of the people on this Zoom meeting, and yet I am here and I'm not worried about anything else but being here. So that alone makes me feel connected without even wondering, what am I going to gain? What am I going to waste my time? If I feel that way, I'll just leave. But the very reason why I think that I'm here is because I'm this I that we're talking about, I am that I am, is has brought us here, and without even us knowing why, but it's brought me here, and it's made me enjoy this conversation that we're having, and that alone is an experience in itself that is almost like an experience that I can describe it as a heart-to-heart experience rather than anything else that makes me believe or not, or try to say anything else in my mind. So I'm very thankful for this conversation because it puts things in perspective even more.
Yes.
So thank you to both of you.
Yes.
But just to say that that connection, you know, we've each been brought up a certain way, but yes, we've been told that this is who we are, this is what we need to do, this is what, you know, success is this, failure is this. But if you focus on the right now, what else is there but here? I don't know what I'll be doing in half an hour. I mean, I do know, but I still don't know what might happen.
Yes.
So I'm not an idiot, but I'm not, I'm trying the most possible to do my best to be in that moment, moment to
Yes.
moment, breath by breath, so I can be, you know, experiencing this to the fullest. Because
Yes.
if you leave any kind of gaps, it's not that you're not going to experience it, it's just going to come and go more, and it's almost like you're not going to dive deeper into the ocean. But so thank you so much.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
enjoyable to be here.
Yes. Very
Thank
nice, Sylvia. Thank you.
Thank
Yes. Yes, Sylvia. Yes. So when, you know, just to sort of get inspired by what you shared, Sylvia, the being moment by moment, being in this moment. If you really take a look, you find that in fact there is no time, it's just presence. And there's no past. It's not possible to have an experience of the past. In past may appear to you as an image, as a memory, a thought, but it's always in the presence, in presence. So in presence, there is no separation. Because there is no time. There is no this and that, and this happened, and this will happen. There's no time. In the timelessness, in the eternity, we are one. In presence, there is no concern about tomorrow or yesterday. There may be some practical thoughts about, of course, you know, but not a concern, because the reality of our experience, as you said, is presence. And in presence, all there is, sometimes I say, intimacy. But even intimacy is a limited way of saying it, but, with words, because it's intimacy of one, it's not intimacy between two, because in presence there are no two, it's just one. It's just presence. And which is love, true love. I mean, not the love between people, which is okay. Love between people is, one could say, a way in which we translate via thoughts and via feelings. The true love, which is the presence. Presence is love. Sometimes it's challenging. Sometimes we're in presence and something may arise that triggers a certain resistance, maybe, and so then the question arises, how to be with that as presence. So, because presence is transparent, it is the same with whatever arises. If it's sunrise or thunderstorm, presence, awareness, which is what we refer to as I, is the same, the undisturbed presence, the same transparency, with whether it's beautiful sunset or a tornado. We don't know, you see, we don't know what appears, you see, but it's okay. It's just manifestation, But what's beautiful as presence is the love and the undisturbability, the undisturbable quality of being, you see, which is really beautiful, because in the undisturbability we are, it's not an ego, it's just it's consciousness that is sort of revealing that there is nothing outside of this reality, you see. And life is, one could say, at some point it becomes an expression of that understanding, you see. It shifts from being sort of living as if there is something at stake and having to achieve and attain and defend, blah, 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 to slowly it becomes an expression of the understanding of our oneness or our totality or our oneness as consciousness. Yeah, well, thank you for your sharing, Sylvia. Yes. Okay. Beautiful. Any questions, anyone? Okay. Well, as usual, very, very happy, very beautiful to be with you all. Holger, and Lulu, Sylvia, nice to meet you, Sylvia. John, hello, John. Walter, lovely to be with you, Walter. Grace, hello, Grace. Hey, Frank. Rahul, hello, Rahul. Hello, Patrick. Hi, Patrick. Gisela, Richard, Lauren, hello, Lauren. Desmond, Malcolm, hello, Malcolm. Karen, hi, Karen. Kelly, hey, Kelly.
Hi, thank you, Magdi.
Yes, okay, Karen.
Thank you, Maggie.
Yes, and, Peter, hello, Peter, and Pauline, hello, Pauline, and Zoe. If I
Thank you,
anybody,
Magdi.
sorry. Okay, love you all. Thank you all.
Love you too.
Thank you, Magdi.
Okay, okay.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.